When people think about military training, they often imagine obstacle courses, tactical drills, weapons instruction, and demanding physical tests. Uniforms are usually seen as the least interesting part of military life, a simple requirement that every soldier follows without question. But in reality, uniforms represent far more than appearance. Every patch, every button, every piece of equipment, and every detail has a purpose. Military uniforms reflect discipline, unity, safety, and respect for tradition. That's why even the smallest deviation can attract attention. Recently, speculation surrounding Princess Leonor's military training sparked headlines claiming she had defied a secret uniform rule while participating in field exercises. But what really happened? Was Leonor breaking military regulations? Or is the story far more complicated than the dramatic headlines suggest? Let's take a closer look. Since beginning her military education, Princess Leonor has been expected to meet the same standards as her fellow cadets. As the future Queen of Spain and future Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, she faces extraordinary public attention. Every public photograph is analyzed. Every exercise is discussed. Every detail becomes a potential headline. That includes her uniform. Unlike royal ceremonial clothing, military uniforms are governed by strict regulations. They are designed to ensure consistency, professionalism, and operational effectiveness. Cadets are taught exactly how to wear every item correctly. Boots must be maintained. Equipment must be positioned properly. Insignia must be displayed accurately. Even small mistakes are often corrected immediately by instructors. During one recent training exercise, photographs circulated online showing Leonor wearing her field equipment slightly differently than many observers expected. Almost immediately, social media users began suggesting she had ignored a military rule. Some claimed she had been given permission to wear her equipment differently because of her royal status. Others argued she had deliberately broken protocol. Neither claim was supported by official evidence. Military experts were quick to explain that field conditions often require practical adjustments. Depending on the exercise, commanders may authorize changes to how equipment is carried or configured. Comfort is rarely the goal. Operational efficiency is. For example, straps may be tightened differently. Protective gear may be adjusted. Certain equipment may be repositioned depending on terrain or assigned duties. These changes are not acts of disobedience. They are part of adapting to real operational conditions. Experts pointed out that photographs capture only a single moment. Without understanding the context of the exercise, it is impossible to determine whether any regulation was actually violated. In fact, instructors supervising every exercise would immediately correct any genuine uniform violation. Military academies place enormous emphasis on discipline. Cadets are constantly inspected. Uniform standards are reinforced daily. For someone in Leonor's position, scrutiny is even greater. If she had intentionally ignored official regulations, it would almost certainly have been addressed immediately. Instead, no official reports indicated any disciplinary action. That alone suggests the online speculation may have been exaggerated. Still, the discussion highlighted something many civilians rarely consider. Military uniforms are designed for function as much as appearance. Every pocket has a purpose. Every strap helps secure equipment. Every piece of protective gear contributes to operational safety. Soldiers learn how to adjust their equipment for different environments. Training in forests differs from urban exercises. Mountain operations require different considerations than open terrain. Weather also influences how uniforms are worn. Extreme heat, heavy rain, cold temperatures. Each situation may require authorized modifications while still remaining fully within regulations. Military experts emphasize that flexibility within established rules is entirely normal. What appears unusual to civilians may be routine for trained personnel. Princess Leonor's situation became more noticeable simply because cameras followed her. Most cadets complete identical adjustments without attracting international headlines. Another factor fueling speculation was Leonor's unique position within the military. As heir to the Spanish throne, every image receives extraordinary media attention. A slight difference in equipment placement that would go unnoticed on another cadet suddenly becomes international news. Royal watchers often compare photographs from different days without realizing training scenarios constantly change. Equipment changes depending on mission objectives. One exercise may emphasize navigation. Another focuses on field survival. Another involves tactical movement. Each may require different equipment configurations. Military instructors approve these arrangements before exercises begin. Observers also pointed out another important reality. Military professionalism includes knowing when regulations allow flexibility. Following orders sometimes means adapting. A good soldier understands both discipline and practicality. Rigidly following one configuration regardless of circumstances could actually reduce effectiveness. Training teaches judgment alongside obedience. That lesson is particularly important for future officers. Officers must understand why rules exist, not simply memorize them. When Leonor participates in field exercises, she is learning exactly those lessons. Leadership requires balancing regulations with operational realities. Military education encourages thoughtful decision-making. This distinction often escapes public discussion. Instead, headlines focus on dramatic claims of rules being broken. In reality, modern armed forces depend on disciplined adaptability. One former officer explained that the best soldiers understand procedures thoroughly enough to apply them correctly under changing conditions. That philosophy shapes officer training across many professional militaries. Princess Leonor's education reflects the same principles. Throughout her military journey, instructors have emphasized teamwork over individual attention. Reports consistently indicate she participates alongside fellow cadets. She completes the same demanding physical requirements. She attends the same classroom instruction. She faces the same evaluations. This approach strengthens credibility. Rather than relying on royal privilege, Leonor earns experience through participation. That may explain why military observers generally respond positively to her progress. Respect inside military organizations is rarely based on status. It is earned through performance. Discipline, reliability, professional conduct, uniform standards are one visible part of that culture. But they represent something much larger. They symbolize belonging to a team. Everyone dresses alike because everyone shares responsibility. That philosophy remains central to military identity around the world. The recent discussion surrounding Leonor's uniform also demonstrates how quickly small details can become major stories online. A single photograph, a brief video clip, a moment removed from context. Together they can generate thousands of comments and countless assumptions. Yet photographs rarely explain the operational circumstances surrounding military exercises. Professional analysts caution against drawing conclusions without verified information. Military procedures are complex. Training environments constantly evolve. What appears unusual may be entirely authorized. Another interesting aspect involves public expectations. Many people imagine military regulations as completely inflexible. While discipline remains strict, experienced soldiers understand that operational effectiveness always comes first. Uniform regulations exist to support missions, not interfere with them. When conditions require adjustments, commanders make informed decisions. Those decisions remain part of military professionalism. Leonor's growing experience means she is learning these realities firsthand. Rather than viewing the uniform as simply clothing, she now understands its practical role in field operations. That knowledge will remain valuable throughout her future responsibilities. As Spain's future monarch, she will one day represent the armed forces during official ceremonies, military inspections, and international defense events. Understanding military culture from personal experience strengthens credibility. It also builds stronger relationships with service members. Many military experts believe this practical education is among the most valuable aspects of Leonor's preparation. She is gaining first-hand appreciation for the discipline, responsibility, and professionalism expected of military personnel. Whether discussing leadership, teamwork, or even uniform standards, each lesson contributes to her broader development. So, did Princess Leonor truly defy a secret uniform rule? Based on publicly available information, there is no verified evidence that she violated military regulations. Instead, the story appears to reflect how easily ordinary training procedures can be misunderstood when viewed without context. The attention surrounding her uniform says less about military rules and more about the extraordinary level of scrutiny placed upon every aspect of her public life. For Princess Leonor, even the smallest details become international discussion. Every photograph is examined, every movement is interpreted, every appearance generates new headlines. Yet beneath that attention lies a young cadet continuing a demanding military education, one designed not for publicity, but for preparing her to one day fulfill the constitutional responsibilities of Spain's future queen. As her training continues, similar moments will undoubtedly attract public interest. But perhaps the greatest lesson is this. In military service, professionalism is rarely measured by headlines. It is measured by discipline, preparation, teamwork, and a commitment to learning. Those qualities cannot always be seen in a photograph. But they are precisely the qualities Princess Leonor continues to develop with every day she spends in uniform.